no, just a Nobel laureate, and a true intellectual, classic liberal, supporter of Milei and freedom in Latin America. It's unfortunate. Well, he's gone, but his writings will remain, and will be another one. He'll be another important figure in the history of Latin America.
Buy my novel, Escape from the Village, from major booksellers online. Go to escapevillage.com. Subscribe to the Substack. Go to fountainheadforum.substack.com. Support the forum. Go to buymeacoffee.com/fountainheadforum. Thank you. Welcome to the party, pal. This is Fountainhead Forum 296. I'm again talking to Tony Martinez, who is, we're going to talk about Javier Milei and some of his possible, maybe a possible trade deal between Argentina and the USA, maybe a free trade deal. How are you, Tony?
Good. So,
yep.
Pretty busy as a lawyer, I have to tell you. It's a pretty busy time between trade, immigration, a whole number of issues. So,
yeah,
never a dull moment.
And it so happens we're also recording this on IRS Day, so you might be.
There you go. And that too. That too. We all yes.
So well, okay.
Pay our tribute to Uncle Sam and to the state if you live in a state where you have an income tax.
Yeah, there's one thing going on right now. There's a possible free trade deal between Argentina and the USA. What can you tell us about that?
Well, we know that Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent went to Buenos Aires and he met personally with Milei and his economic team, and it was from all reports a very good meeting, very productive, and a good portent of the future between the United States and Argentina, because there's a willingness to do deals on each side. And so, as the saying goes, where there is a will, there is a way. And I believe there is a will on both sides. And with excitement, because when Milei spoke in his remarks, he talked about how it was so critical to doing these deals in order to shift the influence in the Western Hemisphere that had gone towards socialism and towards China, and reasserting it back to Western civilization and the United States, and positioning Argentina as the key power broker in the region. So all of those things.
Is Milei trying to negotiate any other free trade deals right now, or is he mostly focusing on the U.S.? It seems like he really wants to get American investors down there.
America first. He says he wants to be the first.
I wonder if he wants to get Musk to build something down there. Do you think maybe he's trying to get that to happen?
No question about that. I'm absolutely convinced that Musk is going to do something big in Argentina.
I don't know. I guess I believe there is a lot of mining down there or they could do a lot of mining. Is that correct? Yeah, too.
Yes, Argentina is rich in natural resources, oil, minerals. I mean, they have it all there, and it's really a beautiful country. You have to go.
Oh, I've definitely been there. Yeah, of course I've only been to Buenos Aires. I mean, I've not.
Oh, you got really wine country. Mendoza is very nice.
Well, I hear the really beautiful part though is if you go down south or go into the mountains.
You go to Patagonia, Bariloche, yeah.
It was. I went up into the mountains near Santiago, and it's pretty beautiful up there. So but that's Chile, but those are the same mountains. Do they have copper there as well? Because I know Chile has a lot of copper.
They have. Argentina has all those resources. They've got lithium.
Yeah, lithium is and that's what they need for the batteries. So I think that could definitely be a boon for Musk. I've always said too, Tony, it's funny. There is no car company that's native to South America. And I wonder if that will change anytime soon.
I think that's definitely in the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly there's the resources there to make it happen. It's just who's going to be the Henry Ford of South America?
And if you open up the market, it's possible. I mean, it's going to be amazing to see that happening. I think Henry Ford really was.
That's the beauty of they opening up the markets and doing all this free trade. It lends itself to the environment to have that kind of creativity.
Yeah.
And innovators will emerge.
Do they have pretty wide open trade with their neighbors? I mean, obviously, Chile, Brazil, Uruguay. I mean, they're right there. Of course, it's easier to ship goods, across, from between those two countries than it is to ship them all the way to the USA.
Well, they're part of Mercosur.
Yeah.
So, they've tried. South America has definitely tried to get the trade and, the trade dynamic, going. It's just been a little bit more challenging because of the different type of government philosophies that run all the different players, and then the jostling for position amongst them. It's an interesting cast of characters.
Yeah, it is. And for people who might not know, what is the Mercosur? That's MERCOSUR.
Yeah, that's like the Southern Common Market for South American nations.
And who's currently in that?
Argentina, Uruguay, Chile, Brazil.
Brazil.
It's all of them. Venezuela. They're in there, and it makes it easy to travel. Anybody of those countries can go. It's like the EU of South America.
Actually, there's different levels of membership. There's full members and associate members. At least according to Wikipedia, Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay. They suspended Venezuela, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Guyana, Panama, Peru, Suriname are associate countries. Bolivia just became a full member, and they're all there together. So yeah, that's a.
Yeah, so there's great potential when you look at that. You can see that there's really great potential for what could be done in that region if there was coherent, congruent trade policies.
Yeah. Have they eliminated all of the export taxes yet? Or because you have to pay a tax to ship stuff out of at least it was that way. You had to pay taxes to ship stuff out.
Correct. Milei has spent really the good first part of his year in office, a little more than a year. He's trying to do as much as he can, as fast as he can.
Yeah.
As the Congress will allow him to do that. And I think he's going to get help in this next round of congressional elections. We're going to see La Libertad Avanza emerge even more powerful. Because the good news for Milei is he can now run on a record of achievement. He's kept his promises, and he's delivering the economic results that he said he would.
Yeah, this is one thing I've realized. There's the cliche, Rome wasn't built in a day. Well, you can't tear down Rome in a day either. It's correct. It's absolutely amazing all the messes he's cleaning up. It's funny. You clean up one mess, and sometimes it exposes another mess that you didn't know was there. It's
Milei's uncovered some very interesting things, like what came out that apparently Hitler survived World War II and fled to Argentina and lived there. And he's releasing intelligence files regarding that information. That's pretty interesting stuff.
Well, yeah, there were quite a few that fled to South America. Of course, Adolf Eichmann was the biggest. He definitely, but the Israelis captured him in, I think, 1961 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes. And I know, and I don't think Mengele was ever caught, but yeah, that was very interesting. Yeah, it doesn't really, of course, I know there were some rumors in the late 40s in the U.S. wondering, hey, what really happened to Hitler, because we never got his body. But yeah, so yeah, the other thing too is though, Argentina could also ship out a lot of food. From what I hear, they could probably feed all of South America if they wanted to.
That is correct.
Yeah,
they are a breadbasket country.
But also beef and
fantastic beef, fantastic.
Tony, what I was saying is the best food I had down there was fish, and obviously with such a long coastline, you've got some seafood culture there.
Of course.
Yeah. So yeah, and not to mention, you got a certain degree of tourism. I mean, it's a nice place to visit and go down there and see things. It's just beautiful cities and beautiful. What else do you think is? Some people are saying that he's trying to get back the Islas Malvinas, or the Falkland Islands in English. Do you think they're moving to make that happen? Or
I think he's definitely laying the groundwork for it to happen, and I think that he, I would say it's possible that he will achieve that, or he will. One of two things will happen: either the Malvinas will be returned to Argentina while he's in office, or Milei will have laid the groundwork for the return of the Malvinas to Argentina.
You mentioned the elections coming up. Do you think there's anybody who really stands out that would be an ally of Milei, or who might be really be Milei's next predecessor after 8 years? Or
you mean successor?
Successor after 8 years, yes, yeah, successor.
I mean, there's a number of people there in the Argentine Congress that are very interesting, but I'm not. It's still far off. Let Milei have his time. He's just getting started. I predicted this trade deal coming a year ago on Austin Peterson's Liberty show. We talked about that, and so far everything I said that was going to happen has happened. I said that he was going to make an amazing presentation at the United Nations, at the, he did like at the World Economic Forum. Stay tuned for the formal state visit of Argentina and Milei to visit the United States with full court, and a state dinner at the White House and speech before the joint session of Congress. That's all coming.
From what I hear too, this is actually making him more popular at home. They're saying, "Hey, our president is getting invited to speak at all these places." Yeah, that makes us look good. Is that true? Do you think that's helping?
He's definitely changed the perspective of Argentina. It's not just soccer, tango, and beautiful women. There's more to Argentina. So he's definitely expanding people's horizons, and I encourage people to make the trip to Argentina. It's a long flight, but well worth it. You just take the night flight, and you're there the next day, and it's really a nice place.
Yeah, it's a long flight. All right, it definitely is a long flight.
Nowadays on that long flight, they have the technology. You can watch all the movies you want. They'll feed you, and it's not a terrible flight.
Yeah,
I tell people go. You land good for gourmet and wine lovers. Check out Argentina.
Yeah, mountains. I was trying to. I don't know if Messi is on Twitter. I was trying to see if Milei had as many followers as he does. I couldn't find it.
Messi has more.
Yeah, well, Messi's probably the most well-known soccer player in the world right now. So
correct.
Yeah, or football player, but he's getting up there too. Yeah, so it's
well, eventually he'll retire, but
yeah, maybe he'll go into politics afterwards.
You never know. The retired athletes do go into politics.
Oh, he's got the fame, and sometimes you're just, people love you. That helps. Although, It's sometimes you can lose fans too if you take certain positions. That's why some athletes just never say a word about it, which is probably a smart thing to do. But he was certainly an improvement over Diego Maradona too. Oh
Yes.
yeah. So it's. I wonder what else we might. What's been going on? Have you followed what's been going on with Vijarel at all? Because there seems to be a split there, or there is definitely is a split there.
There is a split. I really don't know what the origin of it is and why it hasn't resolved, but I just say advantage Milei regardless.
Yeah, it's definitely an advantage. I mean, the guy just knows public relations. Tony, also, do we have provincial governor elections this year? Because a lot of the provincial governors are still
there's the
very
local
hostile
the
toward him.
legislators. I know, for example, the city of Buenos Aires legislature is having elections, and Milei's press secretary Manuel Adorni is actually running for that position, which will be a great thing. He's probably one of the best presidential spokesmen that I've seen do that work, and even does it in Spanish. But anybody were to watch him and understand, I mean, he's just so sharp.
Do you think we'd be? Are we? Would we? Well, I guess I shouldn't say. Would we be better off with him still being Milei's press secretary, or do you think? I mean, it's sometimes.
No, I think Milei has endorsed him.
Okay.
Milei wants him there. Is like Milei was asking in the campaign ad that I saw. It's like, we're trying to fix the country, but the capital city can't get its act together because they're still attached to this crazy left woke socialist Kirchnerist legacy that has infiltrated and has dominated them. Let's get rid of it. And he was like, send my guy Manuel. He knows what he's doing, and he'll be a voice for liberty and freedom.
Certainly.
And all of that.
Isn't it that way with a lot of capital cities, though, Tony? It's
sure.
Certainly that way with our capital city. I mean, it's certainly that way with a lot of state capitals as well in the USA. So,
well, we'll see.
That's where the bureaucrats
we'll see how it goes. We'll see how that one plays out. But I hope he wins, and he'll be good.
Oh yeah, I hope he wins too.
He'll certainly add to the intellectual discourse and political discourse. Adorni knows how to debate and spar with other people, because he's taken on the crazy woke left press that would either ask insane questions or just crazy questions.
They really do. It's the way they ask questions and how they ask questions. I mean, and of course, Milei's got his own allies in the media too, people like Gordo Dan and others. But it's really amazing. I think we'll see a lot more podcasts, and certainly it probably I probably got some really great Spanish speaking podcasts out there that are talking about him. It's becoming because we're seeing a shift in the media right
now. Definitely, but the media still has a long way to go.
Oh yes. Yeah. So, yeah. Anything? What's been going on in Venezuela lately?
Well, Venezuela's been isolated by the Trump tariffs.
Yeah. Well,
and I mean, I don't have anything pretty good to say. I mean, it's sad. Venezuela is a tragic situation. I mean, Maduro is clinging, and his cronies are clinging on to power. They don't want to give it up.
I just wonder, because I know some people who were still basically living in the Argentine embassy, and I haven't heard from them in a while. Well, I knew one person there, so
that's still an unfortunate reality.
Yeah.
You know, there was talk about Argentina doing a rescue operation to get them out,
Sending in a helicopter or something. Yeah, that would be
or
great.
they're the equivalent of the Argentine Special Forces. It's intriguing. We'll see. You know, it would possibly open up. You know, the United States might take an interest. It could play out a couple of different ways if they were to do something like that.
But then Maduro would say, "Oh, the Yankee imperialists are coming to overthrow our government. They're interfering in us."
And probably he won't last
Yeah.
for very long. He's not as popular as he thinks he is. Once people realize that they can be rid of him, I believe they'll drop him in a heartbeat.
That is often the case. I mean, I know, I certainly know some people who know Maria Corina Machado, and there's some other. Yeah, the elections. It should be. Yeah, I hope it falls down, and maybe this will be the fight. Maybe this will be. A lot of us thought the Berlin Wall was the end. Maybe this will be the end. I don't know. I hope it is. the fall of the Venezuelan communists. Well, I guess the North Koreans are still there, but hopefully,
it's no easy situation. So,
and as I've said many times, the Venezuelan immigrants in Argentina, they love Milei, and Milei loves them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's and of course it only takes 2 years to get citizenship, so that's
yeah, no, it's definitely an attraction. That draws a lot of people for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, and unlike America, you don't have the language right. Okay, Tony, I know you're short on time. Before we go, we lost Mario Vargas Llosa, who's won the Nobel Prize for Literature in Peru. I mean, this guy was a big liberal voice in South America. I mean, I know lots of people, and I know he endorsed Milei. What can you tell us about him?
No, just a Nobel laureate, and true intellectual, classic liberal, supportive of Milei and freedom in Latin America. It's unfortunate. He's gone, but his writings will remain, and he'll be another one. He'll be another important figure in the history of Latin America.
Yes, let's hope so. I mean, Peru is a wonderful country, and I hope this. I hope we can honor him, and I might maybe I'll do a panel about him on this show. But well, Tony, thank you for coming on. Where can we find you out there?
Just like on Twitter, right there is US LATAMENVOY. Just find me there. I'm always tweeting.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm practicing law, where I'm actually getting into the. I'll be going into a different line of business soon, expanding into a health product space.
Oh, okay, Tony. Well, that's certainly a noble cause. Well, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, go buy my novel, Escape from the Village. Go to Buy Me a Coffee, where people are donating money to support my show. Check out my Substack. Thank you, Tony. I'm Chris Baker.
Thank you, Chris.
We're out. Buy my novel, Escape from the Village, from major booksellers online. Go to escapevillage.com. Subscribe to the Substack. Go to fountainheadforum.substack.com. Support the forum. Go to buymeacoffee.com/fountainheadforum. Thank you.